Becky, I am going to get you going. Go ahead and unmute. And we're thinking 10-ish minutes. And then I start making them do really boring, poke your eye out work.
I love it. I'm so jealous too, because a part of me is like, I just want to stay on and lurk on this call and see what you guys are doing for your IPA. If you're on this call, I'm just going to tell you right now, you're part of we're in a huge company. Our company is enormous, and you guys are part of the top 1% that meet together and actually spend time strategizing about your business. And I want to tell you, as a fellow female entrepreneur, like, way to go. I'm really impressed to see how many, and if there's a male on here, then you're also part of the 1%. But one of the things that I'm really wanting my team to embrace this year is like, I'm a business owner. How would I show up as a business owner? So, okay, I've never Jen and I never have gotten to hang out like one-on-one. So I'm still like waiting for those days sometime when the world opens back up, because I was like, oh, I really want to be funny because it's Jen Lee's call. But I'm going to bring you guys the stuff that I have to preach to myself, because I feel like if it's worth preaching to myself daily, then it's something I should share with you guys. And it is really the idea that you can spend years on your skill set, as you should, right? For many of us, for me personally, this was a brand new career. I don't know anyone that has a bachelor's or master's in network marketing. So you guys chose a career because you're a business owner. You chose a career where you didn't have a skill set yet. Maybe some of us came like, you know, with some more Facebook friends or more Instagram friends than others. And maybe some of us had done some work in, I don't know, advertising or marketing. Maybe some of you guys had extra skills in graphic design or whatever it was, but we kind of all came to the table with the same set of skills. And so you can work on your skill set, but you can never out skill set a poor mindset. And so my question today is, do you include mindset work in your IPA? It's that important. Now, I will tell you, if you were to take like maybe 25 top leaders in the company and ask them, did you ever come to a place in your business where you either hit a burnout season, or you felt like you were stalled, or you got paralyzed, or you kind of hit the skids? I'm going to tell you that I bet 100% of them would say, yes, and I had to work on my mindset. It's just that crucial. And so back in my previous career, I was a therapist. And so like, this is what I did, is just sit with people all day and get them talking, and then help, you know, we would both together identify like poor mindset issues or thought patterns that weren't serving them. And we would do what's called CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, which really is just a really fancy, sciencey way of saying we would examine their thoughts and we would help reprogram their brain. So you guys have probably, you know, you're somewhat familiar with people like Dr. Caroline Leaf and these neuroscientists who will tell you that your brain is a computer and that you program it every day. So here's a couple things I'm going to keep this light so that you can really absorb it. We won't go super deep. If we had more time, I'd be like, who wants to volunteer for some mindset coaching? But I'm not going to do that to y'all, because I want you to be able to stay in your zone. So, okay, it's more than podcasts. Let me say that. And it's more than affirmations. So if you do those things, I'm not coming at you. Like, keep doing them. Just know it's more than that. You listening to a really great podcast, whether it's on business or whether it's on the brain or whether it's something, you know, kind of therapeutic, whatever it is, leadership, that's wonderful. Do it. But just know that in and of itself isn't mindset work. That's you growing, and congrats. That's wonderful. But mindset work goes deeper. It's a part of it. It can introduce some new concepts to you. Mindset work requires this. You have to dig in. You have to dig in with yourself and your thoughts. So I used to work in the world of addictions, and I will always, always, always have a soft place in my heart for AA. I went to so many AA meetings. I also used to be a raging codependent, so I went to a lot of Al-Anon meetings. But so they have the best sayings. I swear they've cornered the market on like the amazing pithy sayings. And one of the things they would always say is, you know what, between here and here, it's a bad neighborhood. Don't go in there alone. And I loved it because the whole idea is, if you're not inviting someone else into an examination of your thoughts, then the whole process of getting mentally healthy is just going to really be a slow one. That's partially what therapy is, guys, is just inviting someone else to listen to you talk and then say, are you sure? Are you sure about that? Did you hear what you just said? Now, not everyone, especially right now, you're homebound in some ways. I don't know about y'all, our schools are closed today because of ice, but just the state of the world, you're at home a lot. You could definitely do virtual therapy. And if therapy is something that you've never done, I cannot just tell you enough how life transforming it can be. But at the same time, it's expensive, it's costly, it takes time. So there's some other things you can do as well. One of the things that I do every day is solitary time. There's no phone, it's technology free, because, once the phone comes, it's like the door's open and I might as well invite the world to come hang out with me. But solitary time alone, personally, I spend solitary time alone with God each day. One, I want to listen for his thoughts. Like that's the heart of my faith, is that it's less about me. God, I want to hear, what do you think about this? And so I spend time with God and I read the Bible and I try to stay quiet. But another thing I do is I really try to use that time to also hear, okay, and now what am I thinking? And spend some time journaling that out. Yesterday, that was a big day for me. I could feel myself in a place where I was avoiding some things I needed to do. Do y'all ever do that? You have like a list of things in your head and like, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do everything else I can, but do that one thing. And I asked my husband, I was like, will you sit and do some processing with me? Because I feel this major place of avoidance. And he was like, yeah, let's do that. And then I said, I need to just sit and journal. Like, where are these thoughts coming from? So that's huge. If it's a practice that you're not used to, get ready. You're not going to like it. You are not going to wake up in the morning and go, how can I be alone with my thoughts and avoid my phone and then journal my thoughts? Like, it's going to be like the training for the marathon that you never wanted to run. Okay. So just go ahead and embrace that. You're not going to want to do it. That doesn't mean it's not good. You need it. But the other thing is letting other people in. I talked to you yesterday about my husband. One of the things that I've been doing with a small group of leaders is just peer coaching. And I don't show up as the coach. I'm one of the peers. There's no like one coach, because that would mean that one person had like all the great ideas and we all come and worship her. And now listen, that's true. Like, if you want to hire a coach, please go for it. But I'm telling you, you have access to a lot of wisdom in your life simply because you're sitting on this call. Like, each one of you guys has your own set of experiences and wisdom that you can offer each other. And so sometimes having a peer coaching group, what that looks like is, this is a peer group of women working on your IPA. You could do this with a group of people specifically with the idea of, let's work on mindset. And part of it is getting to process with other people. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's how it's showing up in my behavior. Or here's what I'm avoiding. And here's the fear behind what I'm avoiding. Or here's why I'm defensive when you give me this challenge, because I'm really afraid of da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't think I'm a good leader. I don't think I'm a good leader because someone big left my team last year and I haven't known how to conceptualize it, or I just don't have the personality for this business. Like, getting that stuff out and having other people speak into it is really, really good for you. It's crucial. And not just in our industry, although I will tell you right now, I think network marketing, especially Plexus, because I can't say this about all network marketing companies, they value self-development like no other company I've ever been with. And I've been with some neat companies and neat jobs, but man, do they value you growing you. That's incredible. Okay. So like this morning I made up a a new little corny way to think about IPA. IPA is absolutely your income producing activities. You guys know that. That's what you showed up for. You know that there's action you can take that's going to move the needle on your business. But here's another acronym for it. IPA can start with one, the I. You have to identify your poor thinking, your poor beliefs. And usually if you want to identify poor beliefs, you got to follow the feelings. So I am often struggling with fear. That's just one of my go-to emotional places, has been since I was a kid. And typically for me, it's fear of what other people think about me. Like, oh, I don't want to bother them. Or oh, what if I post too much about that? Or what if that sounds too bold or too brash? Like I said, I'm a recovering codependent. I'm a hardcore Enneagram 2. I'm all about, how do you feel about me? Like, hey, how am I doing? That's just me. So that's one of my big issues. And so identifying it is the first step. Identify the poor belief habits. The P is, well, then you got to practice new thoughts. So you can't practice new thoughts until you find out, listen, where's the rut in my road? What's leading me astray? What belief is not serving me, or what's just not true? And then you need to replace that by a new thought habit. For some of y'all, it might be a quote that you cling to. It could be a Bible verse. It could be something you've come across that you literally take, the lie, I'm not a good leader. And you write yourself a new thought pattern and you practice it. And it says, every day I'm working on becoming a better leader. But then the A, so you've got the identify, practice new thoughts, and the A stands for awareness, because then the rest of your day, you have to catch yourself all over again. Like you writing that quote, that's great. Oh, you saying that quote a couple times, or that Bible verse, or that new belief, that's wonderful. But now you got to go live your life, and you have to literally catch yourself while it's happening, because it's going to happen again and again and again, and it will hide from you. You'll say, oh no, I'm telling myself I'm a good leader. Oh yeah, okay, so how are you feeling right now when you had to call someone who's saying, I'm just going backwards this month, nobody on my team is working, what are you feeling then? And you have to literally catch yourself in that moment. So high awareness is key, because the thought is just not going to disappear. These are like deep grooves in your brain. That's what a neuropathway is. It's like, if you drove your Jeep to and from work down a dirt road every single day, there would be ruts in the road, right? That's your brain and a poor mindset. These are deep. I'm 45. Like I've had plenty of years to really build some deep grooves in my mind. And so leaning into this mindset stuff is huge. Okay, it's 10:14. I don't want to go over, but I just am that passionate about it. Build it into your life. And I promise, it's going to take a good 90 days before you start to see some harvesting. These planting seasons are legit. So give yourself time, make it a habit. And I can't wait to see how you guys grow from it. All right, Leith.
This was so timely for me, especially because I thought for sure I was an 8. I knew I was an 8, no doubt in my mind I was an 8. And it gave me permission to almost sometimes be an unkind person to people. Like I was like, well, sorry. Well, in the last year, I've had people come to me privately, separately, not together. I don't think you're an 8. I don't think you're an 8. Well, yeah, everybody says a 3. Well, I get on this phone call yesterday with this Enneagram coach friend of mine, and we dig deep. Like we go there. And y'all, it has completely changed every bit of. Now I get it. I'm a 2 who lives in an unhealthy 8 a lot of the time. I'm like,
you go to 8 in unhealth. That makes sense.
I'm like, oh, did you just do that? You're out. Like, did you just hurt my friend? Never speaking to you again. Like, I don't want to deal with that. I want to push you out. Justice. You deserve justice. And it's not healthy. It's not the good kind of protecting my people. It's not good. But all that to say, it has shifted the way I've been thinking of myself as a leader. because that is a big deal. And so what she was saying about awareness, because I asked the lady, I'm like, well, what do I do? Like, can you write me a prescription? Like, how do I deal with this? And she's like, awareness all day long. I'm talking too much, but I had a gal, she sent me a friend request, and y'all, like, I could tell she used a ring light. I was like, dang, this girl's legit. And I thought, this is who I want on my team. Well, so I message her and we get to talking, and she orders the Slim. Well, then I figured out she was with another company, and she's asking if we could partner. And I said no. And her immediate response back was, well, I didn't like the Slim anyways. It made me feel really bad. And everything's not for everyone. Sorry. And I was like, I was feeling some anger. And I was thinking all these horrible thoughts. And then I realized, you know what? It's okay. Like, she can be ugly. It doesn't affect me. All that to say, it's so important. What Becky just shared is worth spending time every day, every day. That was good. That was really good for me. I'm going into what we're going to do today feeling like it's almost like I get the honor to start to understand my feelings and thoughts behind what I'm about to do. So that was really good. Thank you, Becky. If you ever need me for anything, just call me.
Oh, I'm going to hit you back, girl. Don't you worry. Good luck, y'all.
Yeah, thank you. Gosh, that was good. You know, and when I first joined Plexus and we heard about mindset, I didn't like it because it made me think of the Saturday Night Live skit where he's like, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, people like me. And I'm like, no, I don't like that. But it isn't that, actually, after all. I feel like I'm just constantly working on my brain, just like you would work on your body. Well, I don't work on my body, but if people, the people that do, you know what I'm talking about, like exercise stuff. All right, this is going to be terrible, but yet we're going to do it with boldness and appreciation. We are going to go to our perks report. Hold up, it's going to be okay. You're not going to do what you think you're going to do, because I can't stand having to message people and say, you know how you already decided you were going to quit? I'm here to make you change your mind on something you've already done. We're going to actually go to our perks report and look at everyone that has perks. You know, when it says NA, have you seen that? I'm going to try to share my screen, but I'm afraid I'm going to violate someone's privacy. Yep, I'm basically violating their privacy. Maybe I could zoom in. Am I able to zoom in? Tech on it. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Do you see this list right here that shows all these NA? All it means is they moved the date off of their next subscription. So they haven't lost anything. But this row right here says total perks. You're going to work through all of this list, going to every person. And maybe if they're like your 3, it would be weird, but I think 1 and 2 is totally appropriate. And say, I don't know if you realize this. Like, look at Keely. She has 500, or maybe it's Kelly. I don't know her. I'm going to go to her and say, do you realize that you have 500 perks? That's like, and you might want to go and refer to the perks redemption site, because I don't remember what you can get for 500. It might be, well, I don't know. It might be, I think even Joyome Day Serum is close to that. But anyhow, you're going to go with good news. I don't know if you realized it, but you have enough to redeem for blankety blank, blank, blank. Can I help you do that? You're going with the good news. You're going to be the hero. So I have a nice long list. I won't go to Laura just because 80 is not worth talking about. And anything, well, maybe you might go to the 200s and say, literally, you are 1 order away from getting a free, and you can tell her the things that are in the 300 range. I think ProBio is there, X Factor's there, Ease is there, I think. So that's what we're doing. It's going to take you about 10 or 15 minutes. Yay! Best day ever! Okay, so you may still be working through that, but I just basically, I wrote out all the people that I wanted to contact and put their points or their credits next to it. And then I just sent a voice message that said something like, hey, I hope you're doing great, or your kid's back in school, or hey, I hope you're doing great. I see you're doing the intermittent fasting challenge. I kind of broke the ice. And then I said, by the way, I saw you had enough perks credits to get a free bag of active, or I might say, or a bottle of Probiotic 5 or X Factor Plus or Vitabiome or Block or Balance. And then I said, if you want to go ahead and redeem it, I'll show you how to do it. Just let me know. So broke the ice, connected, and then offered. Okay, so that's just a good practice to get into. The next thing we're going to do, it's simple. And maybe if you don't know how to find it, I'll teach you. We're going to do birthdays today. Jen Hawkins and Celeste swear by this. And it's true because I will see people whose birthday it is. And I'm like, dang, I forgot about them. I still haven't gotten them to say yes yet. So all you have to do is when you go to your Facebook, in the search bar, type in birthdays, and it will have a option to click on something that says upcoming birthdays. It's a Facebook shortcut, and it will list out all your people. So I'm weird because I post and message them because I'm like, what if they miss my post? So then I don't just write happy birthday. I write something like happiest of birthdays ever, or like happy, 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 happy. I want them to remember me. I want them to actually remember that I sent them that. So that's what I would work on right now. So we are going to end here in about 3 minutes because I have another Zoom at 11. I'm going to give you two things to think about. One is next week, just seeing who I have. I have Tamara Holloway and Sarah Marbles on Monday. So those will be really good, motivating power hours to get started with. And the other thing I want you guys just thinking about and working on until we meet again is, success sprints credit you the most for retention. And this is the month that you have to make sure the people that ordered in January reorder. So I wouldn't wait until the 28th to think about that. I would make sure, go in, send them some encouraging graphics, remember what their goals were. If you don't have them written down, go write them down so that you can come back and say, remember how you said you didn't want to have a jankety toe anymore or whatever? Then you'll have it to refer to. Okay, so 3 more minutes and then we'll close out. Okay, we're wrapping it up. And somebody messaged me about the jankety toe. You have to go watch Lori Harrison's recording. And also, people were asking for the recordings from this. And I have a thread on my team page. And then I did put some in the chat, but it's easy for it to get bumped too far back. But I'll remember to drop some of those there today. It's good to see everybody. Happy hump day. That means Wednesday, by the way.